Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who decides to leave his wife who's in an affair fog. Let's see how it goes. My wife of over 14 years finally admitted to having an affair with a co-worker, longtime friend. In December, I found a bad-looking text, but she explained it away. Not 100% satisfied, I checked her emails 2 weeks later and found some pretty damning messages. Bored in a meeting and thinking of you, taste test, wife sending her hotel information for an out-of-town talk, etc. Once again, she explained that it was all innocent and that while inappropriate, she would never do anything with him as they've known each other for years and she knows it's safe. If nothing else, there was a strong emotional affair. But I was pretty sure it was more. I discovered that somehow her texts were showing up on our daughter's iPad. We have 3 young children. These texts not only left no ambiguity about what was happening, but also plotted out their plan for lying to me. I confronted her with this and she had no choice but to admit it. This was 5 days ago. Since D-Day, she has been a wreck. Crying, loss of appetite, begging for forgiveness, telling me that it didn't mean anything and that she'd do anything to stay together. I've also been less than great, to say the least. We've had a couple of conversations and she tells me that he means nothing to her, that she was flattered at the attention she was getting, that the sex with him was pretty infrequent and wasn't even that good, that she loves me and is riddled with guilt for what she did. She swears that this has woken her up and she will absolutely change. I believe her. Well, I believe that she really believes what she is saying. I don't believe that she can say what will happen in the future. I don't believe that she won't resent me if we stay together and she needs to change. I don't believe that she can and will change. I don't know what to do. I feel absolutely betrayed. I left my dream job to move and support her career. I'm the one who does most of the heavy lifting with chores around the house, etc. I'm the one who tried to have conversations about our far from perfect marriage and was constantly pushed aside. This should be easy. I should ask for a divorce. I should move on and find someone I deserve. However, there is something keeping me from doing that. Maybe it's just too fresh. Maybe it's the 14 years and 3 kids. Maybe it's that I really believe her sincerity and that she will never do anything like this again and she'll be more open and we could get the great marriage that we once had, even better, back. I'm really struggling to reconcile the messages back and forth between them and the very apparent love, as well as her never stopping it until absolutely necessary, even after she was semi-caught. They continued planning for an upcoming conference together. With her current actions, guilt, comments, that she never truly felt that way about him. I told her that it doesn't make any sense. She agrees. As an aside, he is, and for a long time, has been absolutely in love with her and would leave his wife and 3 kids for her in a heartbeat, I believe. Am I a total idiot for even considering trying to work things out? Edit. She says, I didn't love him. Yeah, there were some emotions, but I didn't love him. The texts she wrote were only to get him to reciprocate. I didn't mean any of it. I never wrote, I love you. It was only, I heart emoji you, and on and on and on. As hard as it is for everyone to write what they wrote, please know that you really are helping at least one person by doing it, so thank you. Update. I posted about having found emails and texts confirming my wife's affair. You guys were so helpful and supportive. Thank you. Most people, however, said, leave her, and I couldn't do it. I was afraid about my future. I was terrified about wrecking our elementary school children. I couldn't. We saw a therapist and we were feeling good about things. We even joked that we're going to write a book about how to make it through. Every single day, almost every single hour, I was in pain, but I knew that we could make it. Then, 4 months in, I found emails with another guy, another affair. I was floored. The feelings came rushing back. She tried to minimize it, but I knew what I was seeing. Even still, I was still afraid and decided to give it another chance. We could still do this. We could save our 14 plus years of marriage and spare our children from the pain. We saw another therapist. It hurt bad, but we kept chugging along. Not great, but slightly better. Then in March, I was suspicious again. I found calls with another guy that she had deleted off her phone. They were nothing, she pleaded. He was just a friend. She was stupid. We needed to try harder. This was nothing like the other times. Everything she could think of. Finally, I had enough and told her that I'm done. We're getting a divorce. All of you were right over a year ago, but I wasn't ready then. I'm ready now. Right now, life sucks. We're dividing up our assets. We're figuring out custody. We're still living in the same house, but not talking with one another. The pain is there. The self-doubt is there. The fear is there. But it's different now. Now there's an end in sight. Now I know that the pain will eventually come to an end and I'm going to be happy again. Now I believe that I deserve to be happy. Now I'm in control of my own destiny. Now I don't have any doubts about my decision. For those of you who are where I was 14 months ago, do what's best for you. If you're not ready to leave, don't. If you are ready, do. Everyone's path is different, but know that in this group, you've got a great support network. You're not alone. Many others, too many others, have been there, have made it through, and have found happiness on the other end. I know that someday I'll be joining that group. You're handling things well by staying positive. Remember, take things one day at a time. There's light at the end of the tunnel and you'll find happiness again. Go through your grieving process while you're at it. You're on the right track, and I'm proud of you for taking control of the situation finally. In time, you'd find it's the best choice you ever made. Keep going. You're going to be all right. Now for some comments. I'm so glad it all worked out in the end for you. And you're absolutely right. It's a process. At some point, everybody's telling you to leave her. All the evidence is there, but you just can't. And then sometime later, you come to see the light and kick her out and let go. And you have no regrets. Takes time to get to this place. Glad you made it. OP. First, I'm sorry you have to endure this betrayal. No one deserves to be treated in this manner. You may feel like you've lost at this point. The truth is, you haven't. You've maintained your integrity. You were faithful and did everything possible to save your marriage and spare your children from the trauma of a broken home. While you were unsuccessful, it wasn't from a lack of effort on your part. It is all on your soon-to-be ex-wife. She caused it, not you. Hold your head up high. Story 2. Well, found out yesterday, my 27 male wife, 26 female, went to go see her AP, 40 male, again after a whopping 2 months of no contact. 7 months affair at this point, which puts us back into this shitty limbo phase again. The main gist of our relationship right now is that she doesn't love me, and she says she knows she will never love me, but she loves him and believes their love is one of a kind and special, and that she can't stay in a loveless contractual marriage with me. Nothing about our marriage is bad. Things are great. We just don't have the love connection, and she says we never will. We have a 3-month-old son, which is the main reason I'm putting up such a fight. We brought up the notion of trial separation, but I know she wants to date him during this time period. Try 50-50 custody and see how things are. Frankly, I think this is bullshit, but I don't see the rose-tinted glasses coming off until she actually goes through the relationship with him, which obviously I don't want as her husband. Has anyone dealt with anything like this? Am I trying to squeeze water out of a rock and just prolonging the inevitable? Doing my best to keep the family together, and I'm having such a hard time aligning with her and letting her go and splitting up the family. Update. Post history has most of my story, but long story short, friends with benefits who got married because we got pregnant. I fell in love with her, but she never fell in love with me. Married for over 2 years, and she had lunch with a friend with whom she had a great emotional connection with, which prompted her to reach out to an ex-fling 12 years her senior, 27 female, 40 male. What she's done and continues to do is quite frankly unforgivable, but my son is the number one in my life, and I can't bear to lose him 50% of the time, and I highly doubt my fight for 100% custody would result in anything. Plus, she'd fight me back for 100%. Wife is in a duty versus desire dilemma, but heavily leaning towards desire. If she opts down this path, I don't want my son raised with these morals, and my stomach churns when I even think about AP laying eyes on my kid. This is the last thing that's preventing me from saying, fuck it, I'm done. I put up with emotional torture day in and out just because I want what's best for my son. For wife to wake up and we attempt to repair our relationship and the family stays intact. For those in similar situations, how did you find your peace knowing that your child would be spending half their time with your WS who chose the selfish, destructive path and AP whom you loathe? Any and all advice is welcome. Thank you. And the relationship with her. Consider getting a paternity test for your son, as there's a slight chance he might not be biologically yours, and she lied to trap you or didn't even know you weren't the dad. Let her go off with the older man if she chooses, but keep in mind that she might end up trying to talk you into talking her back when she realizes she was chasing a phantom. Now for some comments. She sounds like she's completely checked out and very much in the fog. If she can't keep the no contact agreement when you're still together, there's no way in hell she's going to keep it when you're in a trial separation. I think you're prolonging the inevitable here. I'm sorry this is happening to you. You're talking about her coming back to the reality of life and out of the fog. Another way to do this is to expose her affair to everyone so that she is hit with the shame of abandoning her family for a fling. Also, you're not her friend anymore. I'm sure you see that. Employ the 180 and show her what a relationship will be like with you no longer supporting her mentally or financially. That also helps you to detach from her in the event she continues to pursue the other man, in spite of your efforts. The bottom line is that in cases such as these, there is little a husband can do to influence the cheater's decisions, and the best path is to move out indefinitely.